Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. This video will cover topic 5, okay, on the production process and cost. As usual, we start with looking at the chapter outline. Alright, so for this first video, this will be part 1, okay, in which for chapter 5 I'm going to divide into 4 parts. Right, so for this part 1, the video will cover the production function, focusing on the differences between short and long run decisions, the measures of productivity, and also managers' role in production process. Okay, so we have completed chapter 4, okay, in which chapter 4 we have learned on consumer behavior, okay, how consumers make decisions given a constraint in terms of its budget, okay, which is influenced by both prices and income. Okay, so for chapter 5, okay, we are going to examine on the manager's decision. Yeah, if consumers is making decisions on the combination of goods given the income and prices, managers basically make decisions on the input combinations that will help them to minimize the production cost. Okay, so the production function, okay, basically is mathematical function that define the maximum amount of output that can be produced with a given set of inputs. Okay, let me take out my pen first. Okay, so basically production function look at the maximum amount of output, okay, with a given inputs. Yeah, so meaning that in simpler word, okay, how much we can produce with resources that we have. Yeah, so this Q refer to the level of output, okay, or the total production. K is capital and L is labor. Okay, so the capital and labor is the two types of input here. Yeah, so this will determine how much we can produce. Okay, so another thing is we have to differentiate between what do we mean by short run and long run. Okay, in which short run and long run here does not refer to the duration of time. Yeah, for example, like maybe in accounting, normally we learn for 1 year. Okay, it should be for short term it is less than 1 year. Long term 3 years, 5 years planning. Yeah, but here the short run and long run is defined by the types of input available. Okay, in which in the short run it refers to a period of time where some of the inputs or factors of production are fixed. Yeah, so when it is fixed, it constrains the manager's decision. Yeah, so this case star here shows that the capital is fixed. So when that is at least one fixed input, it is a short run case. Meanwhile, long run is a period of time where all factors of production are variable. Okay, and when we say variable, the inputs can be adjusted. Okay, so for better illustration, right, of this short run and long run, okay, let's say that we are a bakery. Yeah, you are a baker. Okay, so you see that this is the oven and this is the ingredients, okay, to make in this case the bread. Alright, so oven here can be considered as our fixed input. Yeah, so if we want to bake the bun, yeah, the bread, okay, we bake 10 units of bread. Yeah, we bake 20 units of bread. Okay, we still can use only one oven, right? But of course, oven is limited in its capacity, meaning for 1 day, okay, maybe the maximum that we can produce is let's say if we bake the bun for 1 hour, let's say, for one dough, 1 hour, right? So of course we are not going to bake for 24 hours, right? So maybe the maximum hours is 12 hours, so the most that we can bake is for 12 batches, right? So beyond that, if we want to increase our capacity, we have to buy another oven, let's say. Yeah. All right. So in this case, oven is considered as fixed input. Yeah. So let's say that you can increase the oven within okay, maybe you want to have a better one, okay, a more expensive one, okay, maybe you need like few months before you can buy another oven. So that, period of time is considered as a short run. Yeah. Long run, all the inputs become variable, okay, and in this example, variable inputs is the ingredients in which, if you want to bake the bread just now, okay, if you want to bake more, okay, then you can just buy more ingredients, okay, buy more flour, buy more sugar, okay, buy more butter. All right. So it is easier, okay, to be adjusted by the producer. Yeah, and you can see that the variable inputs, as we increase the production level, the variable inputs also will increase. Yeah, unlike the fixed just now. Okay, it's not that when we want to increase, if we want to produce more bread, okay, we have to have 2 ovens, 3 ovens, okay, unless, okay, you have reached your maximum capacity just now. All right. Okay, so that one is short run and long run. Yeah, and a little bit on variable and fixed input. Yeah, I think you also have learned that, okay, in your other subjects. Okay, the next one is, when we talk about production, we would like to know the measures of productivity. Yeah. All right. So the measures of productivity, we have again, okay, the concept of total, the concept of average, and also the concept of marginal. Yeah. So the total here is the total product, okay, the TP, okay, the symbol. It refers to the maximum level of output that can be produced with given amount of input. This is basically the Q just now. Yeah. So that's why sometimes we don't put TP, we just put Q. Yeah. But we know Q is actually the total product. Average, okay, you know what do we mean by average? Yeah. So the total just now, okay, we want to know the per unit, the production of per unit input. Yeah. So we have two kind of input, labor and capital. So we have average product of labor, we have average product of capital, in which APL equal to, okay, APL is average product of labor. So the formula is Q over L. Remember, Q just now is the total product. Okay, so the total product divided by the number of labor, then we get average product of labor. Okay, similarly, for average product of capital, we divide the total with the number of capital. Okay, for marginal, okay, we have learned about marginal. Marginal is the change. Yeah, so the formula, okay, also we can divide into marginal product of labor and marginal product of capital. Okay, so marginal product of labor is change in Q over change in L, right? And marginal product of capital is change in Q over change in K. So here again, Q is the total product, okay, and L and K is the labor and capital. Okay, let us look at this table, okay, to understand further. All right, so here in this example, we have capital as the fixed input. That's why we can see all the numbers here is constant, all are 2, regardless the level of output. Yeah, the variable input here is the labor, in which we can see that the number of labor varies, okay, with the level of output. Yeah. So we can get from here the change in labor. Change means the difference. Okay, so all are increase 1, 1, 1, 1, the change in labor, and this is the output is given. Yeah, so you can see here the output increasing, okay, and at one point it decreased actually. and you can see in relation to the input just now, fixed input is constant, but variable input increase with the increase in the level of production. And for the marginal product of labor, okay, marginal product of labor, the formula just now is change in Q over change in L, right? This is how we get marginal product of labor. So what do we by change in Q is this one lah, change in output, 0 to 76, increase to 248. So what's the difference? Okay, so that is the change in output. Actually, the formula is we divide by change in labor. Okay, change in labor is 111. So so that's why sometimes we can just subtract, because anything divided by 1, you get back that value. Okay, so this is our marginal product of labor. Okay, and from the information also we can calculate the average product of labor. So just apply this formula. Average is total quantity, the quantity total output divided by the number of input, in this case is labor. Yeah, so average product of labor here, we take 76 divide by 1, 284, okay, divided by 2, 492 divided by 3, and so on. Yeah, and you can see here I circle. Okay, I circle number 6, I circle number 6, I circle number 9, and I circle number 10. Okay, in which if you look into the output, I circle this one. Actually, this 2200. Okay, if you can see, 2200 shows the maximum point of the input, and then this is also the maximum MP before it drops. Yeah, and this also shows the maximum AP before it decreases. Alright, so my question here is, what is the right input combination to maximize profit? When we say right input combination, means that should we combine two input, two capital and no labor, or two capital, one labor, okay, or the one that I circle here, 2 capital 6 labor. Yeah, so what is the right combination to maximize the profit? Is it at the maximum marginal product? Is it at the maximum output, or is it at the maximum average product? Okay, what will be your answer? Okay, so we look further. Yeah, before we look at the answer, we look further. Right, this is if we transform the table to a graph. Yeah, so you can see here that I circle, okay, the point in the table just now. Okay, I show you back. I circle this one to show that the output increase, reach the maximum, and then it drop. Similar for marginal product. Okay, it reached the maximum and drop, and also the average product as well. Okay, so here that's why the shape of the graph is like this. Okay, like umbrella, right? It increase and reach the maximum, decrease. Okay, for all the total product, average product, and also the marginal product. Okay, so alright, actually this can be divided into 3 phases. Okay, the first is what we call as increasing marginal returns to labor. Okay, so you can see the increasing marginal returns of labor is this phase. When we say marginal returns to labor, okay, you can see that the marginal product here is increasing. Yeah, increasing. Okay, and the second phase is what we call as decreasing or diminishing marginal returns to labor. So here the marginal product reach the maximum and it falls. So this range, okay, is where the marginal is diminishing, right? So that's why it is called diminishing marginal returns to labor. But the returns is still positive. Okay, but when it reach this level, okay, this level, right, this phase is, we call it as negative marginal returns to labor. Why? Because if you look into the marginal product here, it is not only decreasing, but also it has reached the negative value. Yeah, so this is why we call it as negative marginal returns to labor. And if you look at this one, okay, it become negative when the marginal product, okay, is equal to 0, and when marginal product is equal to 0, right, our total product is maximum. Yeah, so this is something that you actually have learned in the marginal concept in chapter 1. All right. Okay, so that is the illustration on production function using mathematical equation and also graph. Okay, so next, and also table actually. I always mention that, right, that you should be able to understand using all the three approaches: the table, the graph, and also the equation. Okay, so next we look into the manager's role in the production process. Okay, so first, the role of managers is to produce output on the production function. So this is something that we have learned last time in chapter 4 about the workers' choice, remember, where the workers can choose between leisure and income. Yeah, so the managers need to give proper incentive to motivate the maximum effort from the workers. Okay, the incentive should be able to induce them to produce more. Okay, so this is something that is related to the motivation, to the leadership, to the incentive. This is why in the organization normally we have KPIs, for example, okay, to make sure that the workers is producing at the level, okay, that will help the company to achieve the target, okay, the objective. Okay, another one, okay, the roles of managers is to use the right mix of input. Okay, what is the combination of inputs that should be used in order to maximize profit? Okay, so we are going to focus on the second one. Yeah, so in the short run, okay, when we say a combination of inputs, okay, meaning that is a combination of fixed and also variable inputs. Okay, so the decisions, okay, the rule of thumb actually, right? The manager should hire a point where the value of marginal product of labor equal the wage rate. Okay, so wage is basically the return for labor, right? When we hire labor, we have to pay them a salary. Yeah, and capital, right, is the return. Rental is the return for capital. Remember when you learn about factors of production? Actually, we have 4. Okay, land, labor, entrepreneur, and also land, labor, entrepreneur, and capital. Okay, and each of the factors of production have its own return. Yeah, labor get wages, land get rental, entrepreneur get profit, yeah, and also capital earn interest. Yeah, but here the capital, capital is something related to the non-labor, for example, like technology. Okay, so we have to pay the rental rate. Okay, so we have to make decisions based on this concept, the value of marginal product. Okay, and the value of marginal product must be equal to the value of output produced by the last unit of input. Okay, so this is the principle. Okay, VMP for labor equal to the wage rate. Okay, or if we look at the capital, VMP of capital equal to the rental rate. Okay, so how we want to get the value of marginal product? Okay, we have to multiply by price. Okay, the selling price. So marginal product of labor multiplied by the price, then this is where we get the value of marginal product for labor. Okay, similar for the capital. Okay, so why we need to actually convert into or find the value of marginal product? Okay, because we have looked into the formula. Okay, value of marginal product, actually how to get the value, we multiply the marginal product, okay, with the selling price. Okay, so you have to understand that when we say marginal product, okay, marginal product measure the output in unit. Okay, and a value of marginal product measure the output, okay, but in the dollar form. Yeah, for example, like this is okay, ice cream, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so when we say a unit, okay, we say that this is 6 units of ice cream, right? But what is the value of ice cream? The value of this ice cream depends on its selling price. If let's say this ice cream worth $2, okay, so the value of this ice cream is 2 times 6, right, which is 12. If I increase the price of this ice cream to $5, so the value of this ice cream become 5 times 6, which is $30, right? Even though the unit remain the same. So that's why, okay, we have to transform, okay, the marginal product into a value in which the value should be in the dollar form. Okay, to see clearer the concept, okay, let us look at this table, right? So we have here the variable input, we have the price, we have the marginal product of labor, we have the VMP, and the unit cost of labor here. All right, so the what do you call it? Okay, where are we? Okay, this is the variable, the price of output. Okay, this is the selling price basically. Okay, this is given. This is from the previous table actually. This is the cost, the unit cost of labor, which is actually the wages. Okay, meaning that this is the wage for one labor. So every time we want to add one labor, we have to add another 400. This is not total, this is a unit cost. Okay, so how we get the value of marginal product? We have to know the marginal product, and then we just multiply by the selling price. Then this is where we get to 8. So what does it mean by VMP must be equal or more, okay, than wage? Okay, because here we are looking to labor, yeah. So we use the wage. Okay, is to make this decision. Okay, what is the right input combination to maximize? This is the question that I asked you earlier, right? Are you going to use the combination of 2 and 1? Okay, because the fixed input is fixed, right? So what varies is only this variable input. Okay, so what is the answer? Okay, for the earlier questions. Okay, are we looking at the maximum marginal product? If we look into maximum marginal product, then maximum is this one. Okay, but we have 2 here, 316, 316. Okay, so should we hire 6 labor, 5 labor? Okay, or can we hire more? Let's say 7 labor. Okay, so this is where we have to use the principle just now. Okay, we have to compare between VMP and also the wage. Alright, so here, okay, in the first instance here, there is no VMP. Okay, of course, because we have no variable input yet, no production yet. So of course, if we don't start here, we don't start anything. Okay, so we go to the second level here. Okay, if we hire 1 labor, with the fixed input just now, you have to pay 400. Then the marginal product is 76, the value is 228. Okay, and if we add another labor, we have to add another 400 for the extra labor, and then our marginal product increase to 172. Okay, and the value is equivalent to 516. Okay, and you can read, okay, the rest. Okay, so here when we compare between this column 4 and column 5, okay, this is larger, this is still larger, this is still larger, okay, and so on until a point where, okay, you see here, alright, the VMP is smaller okay, than the wage that we have to pay, right? We don't have any equal here. Yeah, we don't have any equal, but here we still have 516, which is more than 400. What does it mean here? Okay, this is the value of output, the additional that you get from hiring that extra labor. Okay, and this is the extra cost that you have to pay for hiring that extra labor. Okay, so when we receive something, or when we pay something, we want what we pay, okay, is worth of what we receive, right? So this is what we call as value. Value is something that at least we get something equal. Okay, the price that we pay is equal with the value that we receive. So this is actually the concept of VMP. Yeah, so in this case we have to pay 400, but the value of the value of product that we receive is lesser, so it's not worth for us to pay the additional anymore. Okay, so what is the right input combination to maximize profit? Okay, this manager should hire up to 9 labor only. Yeah, and of course with the combination of the fixed input just now, right? So you cannot hire extra, it's not worth, because if you hire the 10th labor, you receive additional 228, but you have to pay additional 400. Okay, so this is where you have to stop in order to maximize profit. Okay, so this is the exercise, right, in which you are given the selling price, yeah, and then you have capital with rental at 25 per hour, okay, labor $30 per hour, okay, under a contract of 20 hours. Yes, so this is the things that you have to be able to do. Okay, you have to be able to fill up the table, okay, with the given information. All right, and based on this table, you have to answer these questions. Yeah, what is the fixed and variable input? Okay, what is the fixed cost? Okay, and so on. Right, so I'm not going to explain it here, right, but I'm going to give you the solution, right, but you have to try. Okay, try and check your answer with this table. Yeah, so the answer also is provided here. Okay, you must understand why labor is fixed, why the variable is capital, okay, and fixed cost here is the labor just now. So this is actually we get from the information, yeah, because the contract is 20 hours, the wage is $30 per hour, so this is our fixed cost, right? And okay, you have to look back at the questions lah, yeah, but you can also check your answer later, how you can use the VMP equal to R here stands for rental actually, because here the variable input is the capital, yeah, right. And we can calculate the profit, okay, and you have also to actually determine, okay, the phases, the increasing marginal return, the decreasing, and also the negative phases. Okay, so I want to highlight that the answer here is 0 and 3, yeah, 3 and 11. So if you look, it is overlap, because if you compare to the answer just now, 0 to 3, when we say increasing marginal return, you have to look at this table, marginal product of capital. Yeah, marginal product of capital, column 4, okay, 0 to 3, okay, is the increasing part, yeah, 50, 100, 150, and 100 to basically 0, yeah, is the decreasing phases, and this one is the negative phases. But if you look at the answer, for example, the decreasing, okay, start from 3 until 11 until yeah, 3 until 11, yes, yeah, because negative is still decreasing, yeah, right? But why it starts from 3? It doesn't start from 4, yeah, because when you look at the graph just now, yeah, okay, for example, let's say, okay, it start to decrease at 3. Yeah, if we say it start to decrease at 4, what happened between 3 and 4? Yeah, because if you look into the table, it seems that it starts from 4, decreasing, but actually it have started right after 3. So, okay, if you look at the graph, you see it dropped, here, okay, which is 3.1, 3.2, okay. So that's why the answer here is 0 from 3 and then 3 to 11 rather than 4, okay. And negative also when k is greater than 7 instead of 8 and above, okay. So look back at this and try to understand, and of course what is more important, try to fill in the table, yeah. All right, okay. So I think that's all for part 1. Okay, insyaAllah to be continued. See you in part 2. Assalamualaikum.